Hey, Patrick. Hey, Craig. What's up, guys? Just waiting on my guests to come in here. What you guys think of the background? Not a whole lot, Craig. What it is? Not much, Mark. How are you? Matt, welcome in. Yeah, I figured, like I said, I wasn't gonna do. I'm not doing StreamYard tonight. We're just strictly doing TikTok here. Matt, thanks for liking the live. Hey, just to give you a heads up, it says you're about to lose your subscription benefits. So, Matt, if you're able to, check it out, resubscribe, man. All right, Gloria, she is in here. Let me get her. We're gonna do our audio video test here. We're gonna get Miss Gloria in here. She is our guest this evening. Hey, Gloria.
Hi.
let,
My video on.
let me see if I can get that. All right, I sent the invite to you.
Got it.
Hey, there we go. Hey, Gloria.
Hi. Can you
Glad
hear
to
me?
have you on. Yeah, I can hear you good.
All
Can
right.
you hear me okay?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Well, I meant, you know what? Since we got everything, that was a quick mic check and video check. And this is the first time I'm using my background here. So everybody out here, it seems like they say they can hear us good. So welcome. Mark, give me a little bit of time here. We're doing our audio mic checks and our video checks. Just it's been a minute since I've done this to myself, so y'all give me a little piece here. But first and foremost, everybody, welcome to Calling All Bowlers, episode 15. That shows you how long I've been out of the loop here. I had to look at my sheet and see which episode number we're on. Want to introduce Miss Gloria DeMars. Please tell me I said that right.
You did.
All right, sweet. I always the biggest thing I work on when I'm introducing is like if I'm not sure about the name, I will go to Google and go pronounce and I'll put in the name and they'll say, okay, this is how it's pronounced unless they tell me otherwise. So, but Miss Gloria, welcome. How are you this evening?
I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day here. I'm in South Florida and it was actually cooler today with 78 degrees.
Ooh, boy, I tell you what, up here in Alabama, 78 means that's going to be a humid day. So, are you on the water? Are you on the ocean?
I'm on the East Coast. I'm like 2 miles off of Fort Lauderdale Beach.
Yes, okay. Yeah, because you're down there with Brian, ain't you? Oh, B-Dog?
Yeah. Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Yep, okay. And he's in here too.
Oh, hi, Brian.
Yeah, he's Brian has been one of my biggest supporters since I started getting this stuff off the ground. So definitely appreciative of old B Dom.
Yeah, he's the one who told me to follow you.
Yeah. Hey, well, I appreciate that, and it is good to finally meet you here on video.
Yeah.
He's told me a couple of things about you, and when I was like, you know what, it'd be a good guest to bring on an interview. And not only that, I think all the people in my lives like it when I bring on the ladies. So, because I brought in like Britt, I bought Steph, I bought Jen, I bought Jen from California. So it's like, hey, you know what? You got to give the people what they want. But hands off, guys, because this lady's married, and that brings me right into it right here.
Yeah.
How long have you been married?
It will be 4 years in December.
Oh, congratulations on that.
Yeah.
So 4 years. What was the moment you knew you were like, I'm going to marry this guy?
Oh gosh. Well, so we've been together 10 years, so it was a long time ago.
Okay. 10 years is a long time ago.
I know.
But like, what was that moment? Like that little, like it went off in your head. Like, yeah, this is going to be my husband.
He's a bowler.
Mm-hmm.
He sat back when I was new to town. He sat back and let like all the other guys kind of try to get my attention. And I didn't, and he was just back there. And then I actually asked him out on our first date.
That is refreshing to hear.
I know.
That is very refreshing to hear. I like that, Gloria.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, and then, it just grew from there. And eventually I was like, oh, hey, you know what? He's perfect. He's
Okay.
my yang.
Okay. So you're down there in the Florida area. Where are you from originally?
Chicago. Well, suburbs of Chicago.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, there's a little history there. We're going to get into that as we go down here. Like I said, I printed out my guideline here. And one of the things I've learned, I don't know if you've ever like peeked into one of my lives and stuff, that I've done, but my buddy Dustin, he does his own podcast, which kind of, when we were putting DGAB together, he was like, hey man, you're talking about podcast. I got my own. And I was like, maybe I need to get this guy to host like the DGAB podcast when we do it. And then I wanted to branch off and I came up with Calling All Bowlers. And I was like, I got a goal here is I want to interview at least one person from like all 50 states.
I saw that. I think that's cool.
Yeah. So it was like my own little personal goal. And I wanted to become a better host, and kind of do this stuff myself because I really do enjoy doing this stuff.
Yeah.
So, but again, that's just a little brief history for, I'm sure we got about everybody out here that's heard this. It probably heard me go on and on about this, but so you're from Chicago.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit more about yourself, like who you are and what you represent. And if you have any hobbies or interests, what are those?
I am a true Midwestern girl. I'm very true to my friends. I believe in being honest and vulnerable and open and just being a good person. Outside of bowling, I enjoy going to the beach. Hence why I moved to Florida. And I enjoy a good margarita. And I enjoy going dancing. Other than that, I'm just a pretty laid back girl. I like to try new things. I'm always open to trying different things. But yeah, that's just a little bit about me. I love my dogs.
Okay. Oh, you said you love your dogs?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, you know what? Let me tell you, watching Kurt Herbstreit bring his dog, who unfortunately passed on him, which was really, really sad to me. And then now he's got his other dog out there. That's like the younger version of the Ben, It was like, hey, you know what? Dogs really do bring out the best in us. So
Yeah.
Brian says, hi, friends. So glad my audio's up. Glad to see you both. And much love to both of you. Well, I appreciate you too, Brian. Well, let me ask you this. So we got, I kind of got off base a little bit there. So my apologies, Gloria. But let me ask your opinion on something. So for as long as you've been married and been in your relationship with your husband all together, what's the secret to a happy marriage?
I think it is always saying I love you, always giving a kiss goodbye when you leave, just because you never know what's going to happen. And when you're fighting, like, make up as soon as possible. And sometimes you have to put, your personal feelings aside and understand and where they're coming from.
Brian says wine and laughter.
Yep.
I'm gonna come back to that later because I got to ask you, because your TikToks have a theme, and I want to go through that a little bit later. So we're gonna get to that. So you guys heard it. I like those answers, Gloria. Definitely, like you said, it's funny you bring up give them a kiss and hug them and tell them you love them and everything, because I don't know if you saw recently, but I just had a friend tell me recently that they say he's got 6 months because his cancer has advanced greatly. So, and I lost my dad 6 years ago, so it's kind of like one of those things that's kind of hit close to home, but meaning that I totally agree with you. Like hug your loved ones, tell them you love them, because you just don't never, tomorrow's never promised. So no, I really like that, Gloria. I really, really do. So, moving on here. So cool thing about it, like when I was going through your TikTok, I saw the dance photos from your Chicago Bulls days. And I got to say that right there, I was like, I really want to know about it because of the time frame, because like most people my age, and, obviously you were there living it up, you said 98 to 2003, right?
Yeah, I was there 99 through 2003.
Okay, so you were right there at the end of the Bulls' last that sixth title.
Yeah, I was actually the year after because they got it in 98.
Yeah.
So when I auditioned, there was over 500 girls for 25 spots, and I happened to take one of those 25 spots.
Oh, okay. That's a cool deal to me. Now, tell me this: the picture. I saw the picture of y'all of you ladies with Jordan. How? Tell us. Just give us that outlook, that mindset, and everything. Because I'm telling you right now, like I said, as old as I am, like Michael Jordan was like kind of like what Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock were. You know, it was just one larger than life. So you were there actually with in a picture with him. Tell us about that.
So that actually was when he was playing with the Wizards.
Okay.
And so what, that was like 2001, maybe? Somewhere around there. And he knew our director very well, and he was at the game, and she said, "Hey, Mike, do you mind coming in the locker room and surprising the girls?" And we were all in there, like, it was after the game, like just freshening up because we had some promos to do. And he walked, and we all just like our jaws dropped. And he was like, "Okay, picture it. Come on, he's got 5 minutes. Take a picture." And so we took a picture, said hello, and then he was out. But fun fact is, back then I also was a bartender server at one of the restaurants in the suburbs, and he would come into my restaurant, and I would serve his table when he came in as well. So I've met him on more than one occasion.
Oh, see, like you tell somebody like me who's like like I said, super fan, you know, during that time. I mean, like I said, I'm literally a kid when, you know, he's doing all the stuff he's doing. I mean, it's just, I can only imagine like how you just felt in the back of your mind going, holy cow, this is the Michael Jordan.
I know. And watching, you know, when they did the Last Dance and had that all going on TV during COVID, we all obviously have a Lovables group, and we all talk, and we all started posting pictures from when we were dancing. We all dressed up, you know, and watched it on TV, and we'd all talk about it. And it was fun to see all the behind the stuff that, and then even in the show, some of the girls that I danced with, like I saw them dancing, and we saw them doing promos. So it was cool to see the whole thing of him and everything.
I mean, it's just it's one of those moments of your life where you get to meet somebody that transcends sports. That is such a cool deal to me. You could tell, like, you're here in Huntsville, Alabama. I don't get out much, so you know. So just being able to kind of have that image in my head, living vicariously through what you're telling me, that's a cool deal right there.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'm glad.
well, no, that's good. So we're going to do kind of like the history here. So you're doing your dance stuff. Then you said there was arena football in there.
Yes. So arena football was huge. This year they tried to make a comeback. I think they're still around a little bit here and there, but it was huge back in the day. And I did that 2001 through 2013. I danced. And then in 2009, I took over as the coach choreographer. So from 2009 to 2013, I did the choreography and coaching the girls. And then I also was chosen to choreograph for the Arena Bowl, which is kind of like the Super Bowl, for 2 years in a row. The last 2 years that the Chicago Rush were around.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're from Chicago. Needless to say, Bulls, Bears, and Blackhawks, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm a Cubbies girl too for baseball, not a White Sox.
The Cubs.
Yeah.
Okay. No, hey, that's another thing I'll tell you too. Like 2016, like that Game 7, I was on the edge of my seat. Like it was like I liked Cleveland and I liked Chicago, but I knew how long it had been for Chicago. So it was like, okay, come on. Well, we got us a little hater in the chat here. Mark, That's because he is a Nashville Predator fan. So go
Oh,
figure. So we got us a little hater here in the chat.
that's all
But
right.
no, but watching the Cubs win that game 7 and how they did it, like I can only imagine how the people outside in Wrigley and Chicago bars and everything. I'm sure it was.
It was crazy. I actually was at the bowling alley here in Florida with a few other Cubs fans. We were watching it in the bar at the bowling alley. And as soon as the Cubs won, my boss texted me and said, "Don't worry about coming in to work until noon tomorrow." And I said, "Thank you. I appreciate it." He's like, "Just go have fun tonight."
Right. See, now that's what I'm talking about. We don't hear those kind of feel good stories anymore. Like I recently read where somebody it was somebody in LA because the Dodgers, won the series this year, and somebody called out sick. They went to the World Series parade, and then somebody caught them at the World Series parade, and they actually terminated them. I was like, oh man, like we just don't get those we don't get those employers.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying my employer, like my boss loves me, and I've been where I'm at for almost 20 years. So, but you get where I'm going with that. So,
Yep.
okay, all right. So, basically, I mean, again, did you? And bad of me because I'm trying to be the host here, but what did you say? Hobbies, interest wise, outside of bowling?
Just dancing, going to the beach, trying something new whenever I can.
Like DIYs or something?
Yeah.
Like do it yourselves?
Oh yeah, I love going and doing like painting with a twist. There's the wine again. Painting with a twist, or there's like a wood one where like you stain wood or you put.
Yes.
Yeah, we do that too. That's always fun.
Okay. Cool. All right. So now we're going to go into the portion here. Now we're getting back into bowling.
Okay.
And I know we said in the pre-interview, you said you're kind of on your way out from the dancing because you said about 2013, but you started to get back into bowling about 2011. Is that correct? Okay. So how did that come about? Like, what was it? Like, you just decided one day to do it again, or what happened?
So at the time, I was dating somebody, and his friends were all bowlers. So they needed a bowler on their Friday night team. And I said, well, I used to bowl because prior to dancing, I bowled growing up and in college. And so I was like, oh, I'll come and I'll bowl. And they were like, okay. So then I started bowling. Well, needless to say, that relationship didn't work out. But I still continued bowling with his friends for a few more years before I moved here.
Okay.
When I moved here to Florida, I was older, and my director said, what are you going to do to meet people? And I said, I'm going to join a bowling league. So our first office outing was at one of the local bowling alleys here so that I could see like the bowling alley, see if I can give them my name. And that's how I started bowling back down here. And then, so now I've been here just over 10 years, and I bowl all the time again now.
Okay. How many nights a week are you bowling?
So I bowl on Mondays and Thursdays. I sub on Wednesdays, and right now the gentleman I'm subbing for is having knee surgery, so he's out until at least January. So I've been subbing for him. So Monday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and I bowl tournaments on Saturdays and Sundays, along with a travel league called the Elite Bowling Association. And we travel from house to house down here in Florida once or twice a month. So it's a lot.
So the travel league, you would say that's your most competitive?
Yes, because, well, yes. So it's different. Each team, so I'm on the Bad Company team. We can have up to 36 rostered members and 12 bowlers bowl a stop. So you have one scratch team of 4 and 2 handicap team of 4 each. So you have 12 bowlers bowl a stop. And there's 21 other teams like this. And so we're up against other teams, so some, like, we are based out of Boca. So that's our house. So that's, where our home turf is. So other people may be bowling down in Miami and they're not used to bowling at Boca, but yet they're bowling against a team from Port St. Lucie. So it's competitive.
Okay. No, that's good. Like I see, that's the thing about it. It's like, I wish that more of those types of concepts could kind of reach it up here in Bama. Mm-hmm. But you can't get the big four here, like Huntsville, Birmingham, Montgomery, and Mobile. You can't get them to interlink for anything, which is very unfortunate. So
yeah.
But I know down in Florida they got something going on every single weekend. So that's
yes.
Bowling thrives in Florida. I think another state it thrives in is Michigan. And Victor being on our lives, given his expertise, Nebraska is another state. So I would say Nebraska, Michigan, and Florida. I mean, heck, I'll even give the nod to Georgia because, Atlanta's always having something every weekend.
Yeah.
So I get that.
It's funny, though, that you say it's thriving because we all feel like it's not thriving down here.
Mm-hmm. I tell you, if you ever catch yourself in Huntsville and you stop by, you'll end up going back down to Florida going, you know what? We got it going pretty good down here because it's just like I'm actually getting ready to start doing 3-game scratch sweepers again on Sundays.
Yeah.
And I mean, a good day for us is if 20 entries or more.
Oh,
I'm usually averaging between 12 and 15, and it's just again, it's kind of the cliquish type thing, which I just wish would go away. I mean, we're trying to just get all the houses to interlink. Like I said, I was at work earlier today because, last weekend of city tournament. And I remember when city tournament used to take up 3/4 of the house, 2 or 3 squads at a time. And now we're sitting here trying to take up 1/3 of the house if we're lucky.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like in other areas, I feel like it's thriving. But hearing you say that, it just, again, I think it's like perspective. Like if I went down there where you're at and I saw tournaments, I feel like I'd be going, I wish we could do this here in Bama. And then if you came here, you'd be like, okay, yeah, this might be a little depressing. So, but such is life. But okay, so let me move on to here because I really want to hear this story. Okay.
Okay.
So I saw the video of you rolling your first 300 games. So first and foremost, I want to say congratulations for that.
Thank you.
And the second thing, I think you have learned too. I saw a TikTok of where you had to actually show the picture to the hater that said you didn't do it. And I'm like, she posted the video. Like, how can you say that she didn't?
Yeah.
But what I want to know, this is what I'm going to, is just take us through that whole day leading up to that moment. And then at the end of that, let us know what ball you used and what was your series for that.
Oh, okay. So I guess during the day, it was a typical Wednesday, a night I was subbing. I worked and I was actually rushing to the bowling alley because this bowling alley, there's no easy way to get there. And so it takes me about 45 minutes to an hour to get there. And I happened to be running late. So I was rushing to get to the bowling alley. And I remember driving there saying, gosh, it would be really cool if I could bowl a 300 sometime soon. And, I always try to hype myself up before bowling. And I was just like, come on, like you can do this. And then game one, practice was, okay. Game one, I was like, the ball's just not reacting how I want it to. And I think I bowled like a 179. Now, my average is a 200, give or take, usually a little bit over. And so I bowled a 178, and I think it was a 178 or 179. To be honest, I don't even remember. And I was like, it's just not doing what I want it to do. And then in the 10th frame, for my third ball, because I ended up doing like a 9 spare, I was like, I'm changing balls. And so I grabbed my Endeavor and I threw a strike, and I was like, okay, cool. We got this. And then I proceeded to just throw strikes, and I was sitting there at the table just talking normal, like nothing. And I happened to look up and I was like, oh, cool. I got this. Like, tonight's going to be the night. And I could tell that my friends were like noticing that, oh, she's got, so they were trying to keep my mind off of it. Mm-hmm. And so then the 10th frame comes, and my 10th ball, I was a little nervous, and I tugged it a little bit, but it held, and it was a strike. And as soon as I saw that, in my head, I was like, that's it. You got this. Like, no questions. You're good. Just, you got it. And then I also said, just grab the ball and go. Don't think. So 11th shot, I got up there, and I grabbed it, and I threw it. And it was probably the most beautiful ball I threw the whole night. Mm-hmm. And it was in the pocket and everything. And then the 12th ball, I grabbed the ball. And at that time, the guys next to me stopped because I was trying to get them to keep bowling because I didn't want everybody staring at me. And so I grabbed the ball. I just got up there and I went and I threw it, and I was off. But by some grace of God, it came in, and I looked and I was like, it's tumbling over. And so then I just started jumping up and down. And I was excited, and I couldn't believe it. And when my friend, I'm actually bowling for her husband, she came over and gave me, like, she was like, I was determined to be the first person to give you a hug. And when she gave me a hug, I said, please tell me you got it on camera.
Yeah, that's the most important thing now. Absolutely.
Yeah, and in that video that she got, she started jumping up and down with me. Uh-huh. And so then another gentleman sent me another shot of it afterwards, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, you actually got to see more of my reaction in the other video that wasn't posted. But so it was awesome. And then I proceeded in the third game to throw a strike, and then 9 spare strike, split. But I didn't give a crap. Well, I think I had a 146. Absolutely. And I was like, I don't care. I just shot a 300. Like, I literally was like giving up on throwing a 300 because I have a 299, a 298, a 296, a 294, a 290, 289. So I'm like, what the heck? I was determined to get everything up until it, but so yeah, so I think I ended with a 621 series. So nothing to be. And then the next week I came back and shot a 686. So like, hey.
Well, it's funny you say what you shot, because my first one I shot 650, and I was like, I did it with no practice. I was almost late for league, and it was youth league. I did it when I was 18.
Oh, nice.
And like, I almost didn't make it, and I had 10 in a row periods, like you said. You were close all the times, and then it was like, I'm not even awake. Like, so I think that actually helped, So yeah. I can only imagine, like I said, you had your friends helping you and stuff like that. Dude, that is an awesome thing. Like, and I am so happy for you, Gloria. Like, I love seeing those little feel good moments. It's like another one I posted. I don't know if you saw, but I think she's like 74, 75 years old, and she had her first 300. And
yeah.
I mean, I told people, I was like, look, if this doesn't make you smile today, you don't have a heart.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So, but no, that's awesome stuff. What you said you did it with the Brunswick Endeavor? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well,
and the funny thing is, I won that ball in a raffle at a tournament that I bowl in, and I only had it 2, maybe 3, 2 months, maybe.
You know what? I've got to get with y'all, because there's so many people that win these raffle balls, and I've got to figure out y'all's secret. I'm serious, because it's like I have like 2 or 3 people I know that I drill for on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And every single time it's like, hey, I got this ball to drill for you. Yeah, I won this one in a raffle at a tournament. And I'm just like, it's like his third ball. And it's like, I got to get the secret from you guys. There's got to be something there.
The third ball I've won in a raffle.
See?
I won a DV8 Diva ball. And I used that, and I actually just bought a ball this week to replace that one. And then I won a track something, Thunder.
Criterion?
It's a blue ball.
Criterion? Tundra?
Tundra.
Tundra, okay. Blue
And
Tundra,
I'm
okay.
gonna give it to my husband.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Because you're a good wife like that. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, because when I brought the Endeavor home, he was like, "Oh, you won me a bowling ball," and I said, "No, this is mine." So then when I won the other one, I said, "Okay, here you go."
Yeah, here you go. Look at you. All right. So with that being said, you got your 300 in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We've got some people on here, preferably. I always give my buddy Dustin, Dustin the beard, beard, the suit. If he's in here right now, he's probably showing me 3 fingers right now and telling me to look at the middle one when I ask. But what advice would you give to anyone who has not rolled a 300 game? What would you tell them, Gloria?
I just keep trying and keep practicing. I mean, I kind of was thinking, oh, I'm probably never going to get one. And then I just happened to do it. And I've been close so many times, and okay, and I'm a positive person. I'm a glass half full, and I always am thinking on the positive side. So even if I'm having a bad game, like, it's one frame. The next frame can be completely different. The next game can be completely different. The next week can be completely different. And it's going to be an up and down roller coaster, but like, just keep chugging along and keep doing it. Because I mean, it's going to happen sooner or later.
Mm-hmm. Well, it seems like we've got somebody from Malaysia here. That's cool. I think that's a first for me here at all. So welcome here, and everybody that's just now joining us. We've got Miss Gloria DeMars here with us on Calling All Bowlers, episode 15, and we are talking to her about her first 300 game. Mm-hmm. And another thing I want to go into right here. I'm looking at my notes. You won an eagle at the Women's Open.
I have it. You want to see it?
Yes, if you got it, absolutely. We would all love to see that. That is the coolest thing ever. Look at that. From the Women's Open.
Yep, and it has our names on it. I don't know if you can see that.
That was a team event.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, that was my next question on here is which event was it?
Yep, team event. We went back in 22. We went to Chicago. Mm-hmm. From Chicago, I saw that they were having it there, and I asked 3 of my friends, "Hey, do you guys want to go to Chicago and bowl in a bowling tournament?" And they were like, "Okay, cool." And then we, did a whole vacation about it. We hadn't bowled, we've bowled nationals, the open nationals before, but we've never done the women's. So we went, we had fun. We're like, let's just, see what happens. We met some great women, great memories. And then the next year it was in Vegas, and we're like, oh, we've been to Vegas so many times, we don't want to go. So then it was supposed to be in Cincinnati, and we were going to go to that one. And then they changed it to Reno. So we ended up going to Reno. And before we were going, I literally sat there and watched every video that they posted of women bowling 300s, 299s, 290, whatever. I sat there and I watched it. And then I texted one of my friends who went, and I said, "Am I looking at this right? Are they throwing it up just 8, 9, and 10 and right around there?" And she's like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "You'll have no problem." So I literally told my friends, I said, "We are at the top of the bracket for our averages. I'm in the diamond, but then they're in the ruby. So my average brought us up. And so we were right at the cutoff in the ruby. And I was like, if we just go and we bowl and we have a good time, like, we have a good chance of being in the top. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that we were going to win it, but we won it."
When did y'all find out that y'all had sealed it?
So there was actually another team ahead of us, and I think that something happened with their scores. You know how you have to verify averages and such, and I think their averages weren't. So like we were in second by like 30 pins. And then we noticed that they were out all of a sudden. And we're like, okay, we're keeping mum. We're, we're just keeping an eye on the scores, because I think at that point we went at the end of the month of June, and it ended, I think July 4th weekend-ish around. And so we just kept an eye on everything. And then I noticed that their scores went back in, and I was like, well, this is weird. So then I messaged USBC and I said, hey, I noticed that you put them in there now. Like, is this up to date? And they never got back to me. And then the next day, their scores were taken out again.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is going on? And then I think they officially posted the results in July, because they have 30 days to post it. So I want to say mid-July, they posted it. And as soon as we saw it, like, we were texting each other and crying. And when I saw Mary at EBA on Sunday, we just hugged each other and like sat there crying at the bowling alley, and everybody's like, what is wrong? And we're like, we won. So
that, I'm gonna tell you, Gloria, that's a big deal right there. That is a super cool deal. Like, I'm enjoying hearing all this stuff right here. Let me ask you this. So when that trophy came in,
yeah,
like, take us through your thoughts, your emotions, like, because this right here, like, you won it, like, you saw the score, but it's kind of like the trophy comes in, and take us through that process.
So my friend Mary, she got a notification because she has FedEx set up, and she's like, oh, I'm getting 2 boxes from Texas. And I was like, you're getting 2 boxes? Because her and our other teammate Mindy also won an Eagle for doubles in Ruby. So they got 2. And she was like, yeah, I'm getting 2 boxes. And I was like, well, that's weird. I wonder if they're sending you all the trophies, or if those are your 2 trophies, because I didn't get anything, like, notification-wise. And then she said, oh, they're going to be delivered when I'm out of town. And I said, oh, okay. I guess we'll wait till you get back. And then all of a sudden I hear a knock at my door. It was a Friday. And I go, huh. Or my husband grabbed it and came in and was like, hey, this was outside. And I was like, oh, okay. And I looked and I saw Texas, and I was like, oh, I know what this is. And he was like, well, are you going to open it? And I said, yes. And so I opened the box, and there was a letter right on top, and it, said, congratulations, and we want you to take a video or a photo of you opening your trophy. And my husband had to go back to work, so he was like, can I see it? And I was like, sure. So I opened it so that he could see it, and I couldn't see it. And then he goes, oh, wow, that's cool. And then I closed it. And when he went to work, then I went upstairs and I did like my little video that they asked for us to do.
Yep.
And so the reaction in the video is my live reaction. And I literally, I was crying and speechless, and it was so pretty. I still get.
No, you got, like I said, you got like goosebumps just thinking about it. Yeah. No, that's a big deal.
We're actually, we are getting a tattoo of the eagle with the ruby. And we gave a picture of the trophy to the artist, and she's creating our tattoo. And we're going to go and do that together, because that's something that the 4 of us will forever hold together.
And that's a story in itself.
Yeah.
That's like my guys, Curtis and Dustin. We hit 100 subscribers, and boom, they're like, we're getting tattoos of the logo. And I was like, and it's kind of like what you said. It's like what I felt. I was like, wow, these guys are getting my logo tattooed on their body. That's just like, it's kind of like one of those mixed. It's not mixed in a bad way. It's just like, one time you're like, no, this can't really be happening, but then it's happening. And you're like, wow, that's a pretty cool deal. So
yeah.
But for you, 300 club, got an eagle. I mean, there's, again, not a lot of people can say that, Gloria. That's like rare air in some instances. So
now every time I bowl, there's going to be a trophy next to my name.
How
cool is that?
That is. Yeah. Yep. It's going to be there for till the end of time. That's going to be that's the cool thing in the world right there.
Yeah.
So that brings me to this. Okay, so 300 club. You've won the Eagle.
Mm-hmm.
What other bowling goals does Gloria have?
So funny thing is when I got the Eagle, I said, I don't care if I bowl a 300 or an 800. I have an Eagle. And that to me is more impressive than 300s or 800s, only because the fact, like, I know a lot of people that throw 300s on a regular basis, and yet they don't have an Eagle. And I do. But I do want to bowl an 800. I was stuck at the 747 series for years, multiple 747s. And this year I got a 770 at a tournament. And I just was bowling and having fun and not caring. And so, but after that, I was like, oh, I actually said, maybe I'll get an 800 before I get a 300.
Then,
whoops.
And then there you go. Never mind. Well, that's out the door.
I know. So I would like to get one 800 in my lifetime. So
if I may, this is kind of the coach coming out in me. Having the fact that, again, 800 is, I think most of the people watching this podcast will agree with, the 800 is a more prestigious. I mean, obviously you've got the Eagle. That's the most prestigious. We've already made that clear. But in bowling, the 800 is, I believe it's a sign of that consistency. You don't have to move a whole lot. And I've constantly coached people up of like basically trust the process, do what you do. You're going to be, when you do it, and I say when you do it because I know you're going to. I'm going to see a TikTok, and you're going to be even more elated than the 300. I already know this, and it's going to be one of those things where it's like it was a complete league night. You didn't have to make a lot of moves. Things are just the pieces of the puzzle are fitting in. And not a lot of us can get through that. We get through one or two games and then we lose our look, or we get one game and then we lose our look, as what you used as your example with your 300. But that right there, like, you're going to know it. Like, you'll look back on it and go, you know what? Absolutely. That right there was the complete night.
Yep.
And I see it coming in your future, Gloria. I've got this feeling. It's like I told Britt.
In the universe.
Yeah, it's like I told Britt. I told Britt in the first episode of this. She's like, I haven't shot a 300. I'm like, girl, you're due. Like, it's there. You just got to put it all together. So, so you got your bowling goals here. Let me pick your brain about bowling equipment, okay? Do you have a favorite ball of all time that you have used?
An oldie. A Brunswick Nirvana was my favorite ball.
Okay. Why is it your favorite?
Probably because that was when I was getting really back into bowling, and I loved the shape of that ball, and it just worked really well for me. After that, I kind of went to like trying a few storm balls, and I went back to the Brunswick balls, and doing like I have the hammer, and the Zen Master. That ball I really like too.
Zen Master?
Yeah.
Okay, so Nirvana is your all-time favorite ball.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a guess and say that Endeavor is your current favorite bowling ball right now.
Yes.
No, maybe?
So I really like how the 3.0 rolls for me, but then when I notice that I'm leaving that 10 pin or the 7 pin, or it's just not coming in, then I switch to the Endeavor. But the Endeavor is definitely not my first ball out of my bag.
Oh, no. As and it shouldn't be, but and again, that's the pro shop operator talking to me. So, but yes, see. All right, so good stuff, Miss Gloria. Like I said, I'm so proud of you. That Eagle, that's absolutely incredible. Your 300 game, that's just. Let me ask you this: Have you got your ring for it yet?
No, it's being made. I added, the extra diamonds into it and added the customization to it. Obviously, it's the, only one I'm going to get, you can get them, and pay for them. But I was like, I might as well pay for this one and get it upgraded to what I want. And so I added the date and I added where I bowled at on it. And I added the diamonds to it or whatever they do. Mm-hmm.
Well, we got Mr. Mark here saying that his favorite ball is the one that's striking at the moment. And I'll completely agree.
I agree with that.
So I got to answer this for my buddy Dustin right here. Basically, what is an eagle? At the national tournament, these are the open and it's the ladies tournament. Whoever wins in certain events, they get a trophy called an eagle. It is very, very prestigious. But yeah, what you just saw her show, that is a very prestigious award that not a lot of people can lay claim to. It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
And it's not a dumb question, Dustin. Like I said, I am constantly teaching Dustin. It works when we do DGAB podcasting. He's the host, and it works. It flows.
Yeah.
See? Hells yeah, very well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to get into the final part here, okay? These are going to be, these are going to be like these questions that kind of like you ask your younger self, okay? Stuff like that, all right? That brings me into this, okay? So, Gloria, if you could have a conversation with your younger self, what would you tell her?
So growing up, I was super shy. So, and you wouldn't have guessed it with me dancing and doing all of that. And that actually brought me out of my comfort zone. And I would tell myself, it's okay. Everything's going to work out. Be more open with people. And, if it's meant to be, it will be. And just go out and have fun and don't have any regrets.
Okay. All right. So with everything that's happened, would you have done anything differently?
No, I don't think so. I think moving to Florida and joining the bowling league got my love of bowling back into it. And I've made a lot of really great friends through the bowling community down here. And if I hadn't joined, I think I wouldn't have met any of them. And I'm very thankful for meeting them and the joy that they've brought to me.
Awesome. All right. So here's another question for you. What is the best piece of advice you have ever received in your life, and who was it from?
Oh, wow. I should have studied for that one.
I put you the assignment, Gloria. Come on.
I know. And I read it. Best piece of advice?
Mm-hmm. It could be in bowling, it could be outside of bowling. It's just like something that's stuck that is stuck with you all this time.
I just think living life positively and not getting down on yourself. People are always going to have their opinions, but at the end of the day, it's what you feel and how you feel and what is best for you. And I just, you got to live a positive life. Otherwise, everything around you is just going to crumble. And our dance coach always told us to be positive, even if we were having a bad day. So, that, I guess.
So your dance coach then, best advice ever. Okay. And one of the final questions here I want to ask you is how does Gloria want to be remembered?
As a positive person, upbeat person, because I always want to have fun and just enjoy life and be a great friend to whoever I come in contact with. So whenever that time comes, hopefully that's how people remember me.
How do you want to be remembered in bowling?
In bowling, that I'm an Eagle winner.
That's fair. That's very fair. That's very fair. Absolutely. I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
I
Well,
don't care about anything else. I got an Eagle.
hey, again, not worthy. Not worthy.
2024 was a very good year. It's been a very good year for me bowling wise. So I am happy with it. And my average is showing it, and I'm happy with it.
Good. That's what we want to hear. And that's what I want to, I tell everybody most of the time on these lives. It's like, it's really easy to be a negative Nancy. Very easy to be negative altogether. It's very difficult to keep regardless of how bad things are, it is really difficult to really keep that mindset and it's kind of like that hat I always wear. I don't know if you saw it, but it's like on the back of it, it says 1% better every day. That's my life motto. And that's what I tell people, and I don't really have to say it. It's just like they see my hat and they're like, hey, that's good advice. And absolutely.
Yep.
And then I kind of throw in the pun of yeah, it's damn good advice.
Yeah.
So.
It is. It's great. I get upset when I see people punching the machines, or, kicking things. And I will go up to them and tell them, you need to stop that. I had a bull on our team that I said, if you're going to do that, you're not bowling with me.
Yeah. Okay.
Never did it again.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing about it. And again, I can't say that I have not because I've done it a lot, and it's it's a learning experience. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But it's like if you do it, and then kind of me later on, I'm like, I really made a fool out of myself. So maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. And you said 2024 it's kind of been your best season collectively. Here's another thing I want to try to see if you kind of get what coincides with here, because my overall collective was 21-22, and I probably felt the most relaxed. I never felt tense. Do you think that's kind of fair to say here with you, with everything that's happened? Is like you didn't feel tense, you just felt very relaxed, easygoing, and kind of go with the flow?
Yeah, I definitely, and it's funny too, because after we bowled women's nationals, people are like, so do you feel more confident now bowling? And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I kind of do feel a little bit more confident, and I've felt more relaxed, and I just go out and I have fun, and whatever is going to happen is going to happen. And as long as I'm having fun, that's all that matters. And if my team wins, that's even better.
It's a bonus. Absolutely. It's a bonus. So, and you got any, this is kind of obviously it's been the whole time, but I want to give you a minute here. Do you want to advertise any social media for anybody that might be listening in, ask them how they can follow you on all your wonderful, as I like to call, wine adventures here on TikTok?
My wine adventures. Yes, many wine adventures. I'm here on TikTok, and I do have a Facebook, but I'm selective on Facebook and Instagram just because that's my private life. And so I'm probably more open here on TikTok, and I just like to have fun. So I don't, it's bad. I don't even know. I think my username is Gloria Espo22, maybe.
No, I think that's what it is. But your main one across the messages when I was sending you the outline and everything, it was just Gloria. I was like, well, that's easy.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, hey, you guys heard Gloria. If you would, please give her a follow on here. And like I said, she's got a lot of really, some of those are very inspiring, if I may add. Okay. It's like one of those where it's like, if you sound very smart aleck, those are great. I like those.
I like to joke around, and it's funny because a lot of times people on here think everything you post is real. What most people don't realize is that one bottle of wine probably did 10 videos. And half the time I pour the wine back into the bottle.
it's like a prop that never gets old. Absolutely.
Right, right.
That's why I tried to venture out this morning when I posted. I posted 3 today. One was a pro shop one, but the other 2 I was doing dumb jokes with Curtis. And I was trying to get him to break, and of course he thinks the jokes are just stupid. But I was like, I'm gonna get a reaction.
I think I saw that one today.
Yeah, I actually put up 2, and it was like right before the first shift started, and then right before, like right in the second shift was like middle of the day. So it was like, I'm gonna do a 2 for here. And but that's the thing about TikTok. It's like I tell people all the time, like even if it seems goofy to you, post it anyway. I mean, something may click. And like last Saturday, I posted one of my videos for I was rejuvenating a bowling ball, taking the oil out of it. Yeah. And that thing almost hit 90,000 views. And I was like, okay, I don't know how that happened for this one, but
maybe it was the music that you chose.
Maybe, but I was going to take that W no matter what. So
heck yeah.
So, well, Gloria, that is like all the time we have here. I just want to say it has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Listening to you tell your story, like I said, from the Chicago Bulls and meeting Jordan, rolling your 300 game, getting your eagle, and you're upbeat, you're positive, and I just want to say keep that stuff going, because we need more of that in the bowling community, but we need more of that in the entire world. And I absolutely, you are a treasure for the bowling community and a model. And Patrick says, great show, both of you. Congrats on the 300 and wow, an eagle.
Thanks, Patrick.
The big deal right here. We're Miss Eagle, the Eagle. That's such a cool thing to say, Miss Gloria.
It's so funny. One of my friends, Mary, who I bowled, she had texted me while we were on here. She's like, we were driving by to see if your Jeep was outside, and I wanted to be like, oh, come inside and say hi.
Oh, that's cool. Well, like I said, I do a lot of lives, and I'm going to be doing some more episodes. And again, it's going to be one of those things where I kind of feel like when I hit a certain milestone, I kind of want to bring a couple of guests. So maybe we can have you back again if you want to do it.
Always. Yes, I'm always open for it.
Well, all right. Well, guys, gals, everybody, this is Miss Gloria DeMars. This is episode 15 of Calling All Bowlers. Let's see. The only other eagle I know of is a trick shot for Bat Bowl Pro Shop. So there we go. Absolutely. But as always, guys, thank you guys so much for your support. Gloria, once again, thank you for joining us for Calling All Bowlers. I really do appreciate it. And Curtis, thank you. Curtis right there. Great show, guys. No, thank you for your support and your kind words. Thank you for sharing the live too, Miss Gloria. I appreciate you for that. And for anybody out there, I will be downloading this episode. We will get it posted to the YouTube channel. So like, follow, subscribe here on TikTok. Give Miss Gloria a follow here on TikTok as well. Great wine content. Just got to say it. Great wine content. You'll enjoy her
some
stuff.
Bowling mixed in there.
A little sprinkle. That's right. We'll sprinkle some bowling. We'll sprinkle some light sarcasm and stuff. It's good stuff right here. So, and another thing I wanted to point out to you, Gloria, Craig, right here in our chat.
Yeah.
He recently shot 898.
What?
Yeah. 300, 299, 299.
Holy cow. Congrats.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Yep. I'm telling you. And look, and here's your buddy Brian right back into the chat right before we get off here. So, but as always, guys, like I said, like, follow, subscribe here on TikTok. Give us a subscribe on YouTube. Follow, like on Facebook. And give us a follow on Instagram as well. Didn't have to do that. Yeah, Craig, it's a big deal. 898.
That's huge.
Look, I'm right around people that have an 898. I have somebody here that has an eagle and their 300 club. And again, that's just what it is. So it's like you said earlier too, Gloria, bringing the bowling community together. And this is what we want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, Gloria. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you, okay?
I had so much fun. Thank you.
Y'all have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Bye.
Bye, y'all. Y'all have a good evening.